Schaefer asked several farmers in the area. I mean, he went north of Waterloo and even west of Highway 63 over here. And he got a good group, went into Blake House's farm in his office there. And we had a good conversation, and we kind of talked about what could happen. And at this time, there was that lawsuit down in Des Moines, the Des Moines Waterworks. And it just, you know, that was one of the things that kind of enticed me to, you know, I don't want the government to tell me how to farm out here. So that's why I kind of got involved.
I no longer deep till or V-rip land anymore. I do zero tillage and have been doing zero tillage for quite a few years now. It was an interesting change, and putting up with the flack from years ago. I think they used to say, the saying was, "I farm ugly." Yeah, I do, and I'm proud of it.
You know, dabbled in a lot of different species and timings and you know, different practices. We also, you know, did the bioreactor, the denitrifying bioreactor, relatively early on in the project. I think that was in 2013 that we put that in. We've done a saturated buffer, so we've you know, and now we're doing a wetland. We've dabbled in a lot of those practices that I initially saw on that presentation.
I was starting to do cover crops before this, and when I got into that and learned more about it, that sped my process up of adopting cover crops on 100% of my acres.
I'm not legally required to farm this way. I could be turning it black and letting it blow and letting it wash. I am morally required to farm this way. It's my duty as a farmer to farm this way, to conserve what we have, to try and rebuild what we've lost over the years.
You know, we all need water, we all need food, and there's only so much land out there, even though we think we have a tremendous amount of it. But if you look at the rate that we lose it every year, we have to protect the soil, we have to protect our water for the future generations. And I think that's, my wife and I think that's, I think we developed the conservation concept years ago, and I think that's the direction we need to continue.
I guess I farm the way I do because that's all that I know. I was blessed that my dad is already involved in a lot of conservation. And when I started farming with him, that was just what he told me. He's like, we're good stewards of the land, and we want to keep it, you know, keep it for future generations.
My granddaughter asked me, "Grandpa, why is that snow black?" What'll I say? Because the guy won't take care of his land. You know, because I don't have black snow next to the land I farm.
I guess that another big reason that we do it without having there be a law is so that there isn't, you know what I mean? And the more people that just do it voluntarily, you still have your own control over what you want to do and how you want to do it. And so if, you know, yeah. And then it's funny because I after having farmed with Dad and having learned all of this stuff about conservation, now when I drive around, I'm one of those farmers who looks around at the fields. And, you know, even going deer hunting, I was complaining about these farmers. I'm like, why are they tilling up their fields? Because it was so hard to walk through. You know, but you notice the different practices and where they are, and you pay attention to them more. So you start to realize why it's a good idea, and then you keep doing it.
My son gave me a 1930s 8th grade agricultural textbook once. And the first thing I did, I opened it up randomly, and the first thing that I read was moldboard plowing conserves moisture. And I just started laughing. And the more I thought about that, I thought, what am I doing today that in 60 years from now, they're gonna bust out laughing? Is it tilling the soil? Is it using a single species cover crop? You know, what is it that I'm doing now that they're gonna laugh at? But I thought they did the best they could with the technology and equipment they had at the time. So that's all I can do, is the best that I can do with the equipment and technology and knowledge I have. But I can be on the leading edge of that instead of on the trailing edge and have a 20-year head start on improving the soil on my farm.
I think that those of us that have been involved, and probably everybody, still understands that we haven't solved the problem totally, but we sure know a lot more about it. You know, we have a lot greater understanding around, what does it look like from the ag perspective, what it takes to solve this problem, what works, what doesn't, and why it doesn't work, what those challenges are. So we're just in a lot better position to move forward, seeking solutions that will make a greater impact.